If you're running a brand, you must offer free returns, and here's why. So a scientific study found that if you allow your customers to have free returns, they are much more likely to buy from you again. However, but they are way less likely to buy from you again if they have to pay to return. So what that actually means from a business perspective is that your profits will obviously drop, because if you offer free returns, people will take advantage of it. And the data says that free returns will probably increase by about 7%. However, that will dip into your profits, but it will pay off in the long term, because the study also found that free returns increase the AOV, the average order value, by almost 10%. So what that says is, if people are offered free returns, they have more security to buy more things, knowing that they have the potential to return them for hassle-free, like with a hassle-free return. And if you have a generous return policy, people then perceive it as, that's a signal of quality. Hey, these guys will let us return without me having to, justify, oh, it didn't fit me, or I don't like the color, or, that shows that, hey, this retailer or this vendor understands that I might not like this when I actually get it.
And they're confident in their products as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's like, the thing is, if you believe so much in your product and you believe in even your service,
yeah,
why can't you offer free?
Yeah. That is such an interesting insight.
Yeah.
And we as consumers prefer a company that has a better experience, regardless of price. And yeah, we would prefer a company that has a better experience than a competitor that doesn't have a great experience. Not every, just because you're priced lower doesn't mean you will acquire the sale if you have a difficult or a not pleasant, customer experience. So still, customer experience is still key when, even on the online experience. So.
And it says here, Amazon, ASOS, Zara are all example of retailers that
Amazon,
offer free.
ASOS, Zara. You've got here in Australia, the Iconic.
Yeah.
Like, you've got massive retailers that offer free, no questions asked,
refunds.
Returns. But
the question I have is, does that include refunds, or is that just returns?
So I think a return means that you would get a refund.
Yeah.
In the online, but that if you offer that, what that means also is that you will still acquire a customer, right? Just that customer will have a much higher chance of buying something at a later stage.
Yeah.
However, if you force them to pay for a return, just so you can balance the books, right? You will potentially actually lose a customer, because they're much less likely to buy.
Yeah.
Right?
And it is all about the customer experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine buying a pair of shoes and it just doesn't fit you.
Yeah.
Like, I've done that all the time.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a great point. Like, if the only way to shop in COVID was online.
Yeah.
Right? If you didn't have a free returns policy, you definitely missed out on so many potential new sales and returning sales. So the study says that there are some steps to implement if you're an e-commerce brand. Okay? And number one is give the option to customers to return your product within a reasonable time frame. So like 30 days, 45 days, right? That allows for shipping, as in from the point of purchase, let's just say 10 days shipping at a maximum, right? So then the customer has enough time to decide whether or not they want it, if they need to return it, right? And make sure that the return is free, right? The other thing is to partner with logistics providers to offer convenient drop-off points, right? There are hundreds of drop-off points around the city, around Melbourne here. I'm sure thousands across Australia. What you need to do is make sure that you partner with a logistics company that has a lot of drop-off points. Australia Post, like number one, right, has hundreds of drop-off points across the nation. And if possible, include a return label that allows returns in the same packaging the product was delivered in.
I like that.
That is key. That is key, because you then
Otherwise, you
invite
end up
them.
paying for shipping.
Yeah, you invite them. You invite them to, if they are interested, right, or if they need to, if the product doesn't fit them or whatever it may be, they can return it. Or if they don't like it, right, they can return it. If they don't, but what you do is you invite the conversation, right? It's not like a hassle to find the return policy on the website and then speak to someone at support.
I send it to you guys first and then you guys give me a refund on shipping?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work.
It's just easy if you just include the return label there.
Yeah.
And if you are a retailer with physical locations, you can make it even more convenient by offering in-store returns, right? All our clients that have an e-com store, but also have physical locations, the first thing we tell them is that, you have to have in-store returns.
Yeah.
Right? Because and what that allows them to do is to swap the item, right? If they're not happy with the sizing or the color or with whatever it may be, they can swap the item right there in the store because they actually have everything in front of them, the entire product catalog or the majority of the catalog, right? And the last thing is communicate early in your communications, in your marketing and product pages, that returns are free. Hammer down that home, right?
Yeah.
Returns are free.
Would you have that in your ad?
Absolutely.
Like free returns?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Probably not in the ad, but definitely on the landing page, right?
Yeah.
But if you're launching free returns, definitely have that as an ad, right? If you have, if you never had free returns before and you all of a sudden, you decide to have free returns, tell your customers, have a massive EDM campaign, go crazy with it and tell people, hey, free, we're launching free returns. Don't worry about the size, or don't worry about the color, come
I would
in
even,
store.
have a flow, like an automated flow on your EDMs to touch base with, because regardless, what you should be doing is touch basing with your customers, say 30 days after they've received the product, ask about them,
Hey Jess,
get
how
a
did
review.
Did you like our product?
Yeah.
If not, feel free to come in store or feel free to use the return label in your shipping or, get in touch with us today. Here's a link, whatever.
I think too many people forget that it's all about your customer.
Yeah.
And they focus too much on like selling the product and making the money and business is done.
That's a really good point.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's you need to constantly build that relationship with your customers because the reality is it's easier to acquire a current customer than it is to bring a new customer in.
Yeah.
Right.
Easier, cheaper, and more accessible.
Exactly. So it's a no hassle, right?
Yeah.
Get a team internally to take care of communications with your customers, right? And get them to focus on customer service, good customer service.
Exactly.